Hi folks, HR Funk here. With my Smith & Wesson M&P core, which seems to have been in front of the camera quite a bit here lately, and I have it outfitted with an Olight Valkyrie PL3 weapons light. And I reviewed this light some months ago, and I found it to be a pretty good light. And the only real complaint that I had about it at the time is that I wished it was rechargeable. This takes replaceable batteries. But since that time, it's worked well for me. It's held up well. I haven't had any real issues with it. So recently, when I was considering a new tactical weapons light for my TZOS Raider, I decided I would go ahead and purchase another Olight PL3. But it turns out that Olight was just about to come out with a brand new rechargeable version of the PL3. So what I have here is the brand new Olight Valkyrie PL3R. And it is a rechargeable version of the PL3 that I have on my other pistol. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a quick review of the Valkyrie PL3R. And just so you know, Olight did supply this light for me and for this review, but I'm not being compensated in any other way for this video, so it's not a paid infomercial. But I do think this is a pretty cool light, and I'm going to tell you about it during the course of this review. So let's take a look at what you get when you first open up your PL3R Valkyrie, which I think from now on I'm just going to call the Rechargeable Valkyrie to simplify my life a little bit. When we open the box, we get a user's manual and also a small card that explains installation. Here is our charger with the magnetic connection. There is a hex wrench for installing the Valkyrie on your firearm, as well as a different locking block. The Valkyrie accommodates both Glock style rails as well as standard 1913 rails. So whichever one you need, they have a block for. And of course, we also have the rechargeable Valkyrie itself. And I try to arrange everything a little bit just so you can see once again everything that comes in the box when you buy your rechargeable Valkyrie. As you can see, this is the Desert Tan rechargeable Valkyrie, and it also comes in a black version. One thing I liked about the original Valkyrie, and it's retained in the rechargeable, is this adjustable locking block. So you can adjust exactly where on your rail the light is going to fit. And there are 3 positions to move it fore and aft. And I just like that. I think that's a pretty good feature. And if you look very closely at this locking block, you can see it has the GL on there, which is the Glock block. And I am going to be changing this. I'm going to put the standard Picatinny block on there before I install it on my pistol. And changing the block is very easy. Simply take the small included hex wrench, and we are going to remove the screw that's holding that in place. And there's a little bit of Loctite on it, so it doesn't want to come out real easily, and that's fine. I'm going to replace it with the 1913 rail, or block rather. That ought to do it. And now it's ready for installation on my pistol. By the way, if you look closely here, you can see this is marked 1913, so you know that's the proper one for the 1913 rail. So I'm just going to concede the fact that YouTube is not going to monetize this video because I'm going to dare to show the installation of the rechargeable Valkyrie on my TZOS Raider pistol. And I will show you to begin with that the pistol is unloaded and there is no magazine in place. Fortunately, the adjustment afforded by the rechargeable Valkyrie allows this to be positioned on the rail, and it is all the way in the forward rail. So if it did not adjust out that far, this would actually not fit on the Raider. And once it's in place, by the way, you have to push in on the latch in order to open this up and get it started into position. Now I'm going to tighten down the screw. And last but not least, I'll take the larger hex wrench and finish tightening this down. And there we go. The rechargeable Valkyrie is now mounted on my Tezos Raider. And in this position, the button on the tail cap is just about perfect for either my trigger finger, or if I'm using a thumbs forward hold, I can actuate it with the thumb of my support hand. So no problem whatsoever there. The rechargeable Valkyrie, just like the original, features a body that is constructed of aluminum alloy, and I have found the original to be quite durable. And with the shooting that I've done with my M&P and the handling that this light has experienced, I can't see any real wear to the finish whatsoever. So I expect the rechargeable version will hold up just as well. So folks, I have to admit, I've now been looking at the user's manual for the rechargeable Valkyrie for several minutes, and I'm having a little bit of difficulty figuring it all out. Maybe I just didn't have enough coffee this morning. In general, this light works the same as the standard non-rechargeable Valkyrie. One press on either actuation switch illuminates the light, and if you press it for less than 2 seconds and then release it, the light stays illuminated. Pressing it again turns the light off. If you press and hold it for longer than 2 seconds, then it turns off as soon as you release it, and that works the exact same with either switch on either side. And this is where it starts to get complicated, because the Valkyrie has some additional illumination modes that can be programmed, and the programming sequence is what's causing me a little bit of confusion. If I press and hold either button and then press and hold the other button for at least 2 seconds, this disables the constant on feature. So regardless of how long I press and release either button, it only stays on as long as I am holding pressure on the button. If I now press either button and then depress the other one and hold them simultaneously, I can toggle through the illumination modes. This is the 1500 lumen mode. If I do this again, it takes me to the strobe light mode. And if I do it again and then release the buttons, it turns the strobe light off. Now I have to go back, and actually no I don't, because now it's reverted back to where a brief actuation and release of either button turns the light on. And if I press and hold it and then release, then it goes off as soon as I release the button. So again, this is a little confusing. I'm going to have to work with this a while to get comfortable with it. And that mode that I showed you before, or that process of toggling through the illumination, we see there we went from the lower illumination to the higher illumination, then the strobe light. And again, I'm just going to have to work with this a while to get comfortable with those different illumination modes. But in general, the light operates very easily. And again, it's more or less the same as the standard non-rechargeable Valkyrie. This just has a few more illumination modes that you can toggle through. Now, one nice thing about the different illumination modes of the Valkyrie is this light does have a memory. So when you turn it off and the next time you turn it back on, it goes back to whichever mode you had it in before. So once you get it set, you don't have to always toggle through all those different illumination options. When it comes to weight, the rechargeable Valkyrie does add almost 3.8 ounces to the weight of the handgun. And with my polymer frame M&P, I really don't notice that extra weight too much. But with an all-steel 1911 like my Raider, which is already weighing about 2.5 pounds, adding that additional 3.77 ounces with the Olight Valkyrie is noticeable. It's inching the entire package closer and closer to 3 pounds, and I just noticed that additional heft when I pick up the pistol. So if weight is a concern to you, I just wanted you to be aware of that. Recharging the Valkyrie PL3R could not be any easier. You simply take your magnetic charger, which plugs into any USB port, and connect it to the charging port at the bottom, or on the bottom of the light rather, and you can see the indicator has turned red, showing that the battery is now being charged. When it reaches a full charge, the indicator turns green, and at that point your Valkyrie PL3R is ready for service. Now, according to Olight, the rechargeable Valkyrie is waterproof, and if I'm reading the owner's manual correctly, the battery life at the highest illumination setting is about 45 minutes. I think that's what it's trying to say, so long as the battery is fully charged to begin with. At the lower 300 illumination setting, it has a run time of about an hour and a half, again, if I'm interpreting that correctly. The rechargeable Valkyrie is selling on the Olight store for about $70, and if you look in the comment section of this video, there is a link to the Olight store, and there's also a discount code for my viewers. You can use that discount code to save 10% on your purchase of a rechargeable Valkyrie or anything else on the Olight store. And that's going to do it for this quick look at the rechargeable Olight Valkyrie PL3R. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, as always, make sure you forward those to me. Remember, if you purchase anything from Optics Planet, be sure to use my discount code, which is... And if you use that discount code, it's good for 5% off your purchase from Optics Planet. Also remember the discount code from Hot Munitions. If you go to Hot Munitions, you can use my discount code there, which is HRFunk10, and that'll save you 10% off your purchase from Hot Munitions. Last but not least, keep in mind the Target sponsor for the channel. If you go to Target's online, check out their website and see if they have anything that's going to meet your Target needs. See you next time, folks. And until then, good shooting. Bye-bye.